everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today I want to show you how you can grow your own flax. This guy here, the Harakeke, or the New Zealand swamp flax. Super common plant, you see it anywhere in the country. So there's a lot of great nurseries out there doing an awesome job of growing flax, and you can buy it really cheap from a couple of bucks a plant. So shout out to you guys doing awesome work. But today I want to show you guys how you can grow your own of these super cheap. So the way we're going to grow ours is from seed. And obviously step one, we need to find that seed. So if you're doing a big revegetation project, you probably want to look for naturally occurring flaxes in your area. It's called eco sourcing. You go out, it's obviously taking that naturally occurring genetics from the region. Obviously the plant grows there well, it grows there for a reason, and spreading that around rather than bringing seed in from outside regions. Might not grow as well. Genetic diversity is obviously not as good. So you're going to look around for naturally occurring flax to source your seed from. If you're like me, just live on a small block here, or you might even live in suburbia, just got a section, probably not going to matter as much. So just find a healthy looking specimen, and then we're going to want to identify our seed. So it's growing on these stems here, so I'll get you to come in, we'll take a closer look, and I'll show you how to grab that seed. Okay, let's have a look at this seed here, guys. So here's the main body of the flax bush, and as we travel up these long stems at the top, stuff at the top here you can see is seed pods. So there's obviously a whole bunch on each of these stems, and what we want to do is we want to capture these before they open and the seeds disperse. So some of these, this guy here for example, see it's burst open, the seed's gone. But a lot of these, even though they look kind of dried out, they still are closed and they still have awesome seed inside them which we can use. So let's find some good ones and I'll show you how to grab the seed out. Having a closer look here, there's quite a few that have actually burst open and have lost all their seed. It just goes out with the wind and spreads that way. So we are leaving our run a bit late this year. It's the start of April, so ideally you want to be collecting these March or earlier, but I think we'll have enough here. That one's empty. This guy here is pretty well closed. I'm going to pick that whole seed pod, show you guys. So it's still closed up. Got my container here. There we go. See, if I split it open you can see everything dropping out there. Those black particles are seeds. So obviously there's a heap in there. That's only one seed pod. We're getting a bunch out. So there's one. A lot of these are burst open. This guy here's probably got some left. Yep. So I'm just going to grab a few of these now, pop them in my container here, and then do our thing. See plenty of seed dropping out of these guys. Oh, hey Fanta. This is the next flax just along from where I was before. So it's good seed on this guy as well. So it's good to take if you can, and if you're growing a few, take from different plants so you can get some of that genetic diversity. And it helps if one's a dud, then potentially the other one's not going to be, so you know, spread a bit of the risk. Plenty here, and grab a few more of these. Okay folks, got my seed container. So that's step one done. Now let's get into sowing them. Okay folks, so next phase, we need to actually sow the seed now we've got it. So far we've cost us nothing. We just grabbed those seeds, so that's zero cost so far. Next item I'm going to bring in is this seed tray. Now you can get this exact seed tray from Bunnings for $2.50, so cheap as, but you could also use pretty much any plastic container. It could be an ice cream pot, for example, on a smaller scale. Just make sure you drill some holes in for drainage. So obviously very cheap, so $2.50 for that. And we're going to need some potting mix. Now I've got this bag here from the garden centre which I like, but you could buy a 5 litre bag of potting mix for as cheap as $5. So again, very cheap. So what we're up to $7.50 cost, Alright, so if you come in here, I'll show you what to do. So I'm just going to quickly get the last of these seeds out of the pods, because I just chucked the whole pod in. By just ripping them open, they'll pile out. Some of them we can probably just shake out, they're already half open. Not many left in that guy. So there we have, guys, a container of seed. Your guess is as good as mine how many seeds are in there, but there's plenty. There's definitely heaps of one seed tray. So you can see how many you get just from those amount of pods, and it wasn't heaps of pods. So that's awesome. I think we'll be able to use these very well. So usually I like to use a bit of seed raising mix as well as potting mix, but we're doing it on the cheap here. So I'm just going to go with our straight bog standard potting mix, save cost. So we want about 80% to 90% fill this seed tray with the potting mix. So that's about 90% fill, guys. And I've just given it a little pat down gently just to make a nice firm base for our seed. Now, literally we're just going to scatter these seeds in the tray. No idea how many will be viable at this point. We might get a whole heap germinate, which is not the end of the world. Rather have too many than not enough, so spreading these relatively thickly, I guess you'd say. Right, so they're all in, just laying on the surface. Now I'm just going to sprinkle like a really small amount of potting mix over the top. But we want these to be barely covered, like if at all. Downside of the potting mix, you get these bigger chunks, whereas a seed raising mix, if you want to go that way, is a much finer blend, just easier for the seeds to germinate through. But I reckon the potting mix will be fine, and we're doing it cheap. Almost done here now, guys. Last phase here, it was just we need to provide some water. I'm just going to use a squeezy bottle that I have because it gives a nice light stream, but you can use the hose on a really light setting, spray bottle, whatever, just something to wet this through. So that watering's done, the mixture's nice and moist. Now this last bit I'm going to do is purely optional. I use a bit of Perspex to help keep the water from evaporating from the tray, and I just throw that over the top of the tray, just sits on top. But that's totally optional. The good side to this is you probably only need to water this tray every few days if you're running the Perspex. If not, I'd say just check it every day, and if it's getting a bit dry, give it a light water, because objective is to keep this moist at all times, not to let it dry out. So that's why this is good, just stops evaporation. So last step now is just we need to put our seed tray somewhere nice and sheltered to let those seeds germinate. I'm just going to pop it straight under my potting bench. Easy as, so that's a sheltered spot. It's out of the sun, it's out of the wind, so that should be a good spot for our seeds to germinate. Hopefully it should be done within about a month. We should start seeing those little flaxes coming up, but it's been a bit of a cold March, so it might be a bit longer. Hey, fingers crossed, let's see how we go. Hey team, well welcome back. As you've just seen, we had some great germination on our Harakeke after just 3 weeks or so. So that was awesome. I was a bit worried we were leaving our run a bit late there with getting late into autumn, but no, that's come up really good. And since then we've continued to have some excellent progress. So let's come in a bit closer and I'll show you where we're at now. So we're into late June now, right in the heart of winter. But things have still kept growing really well. These Harakeke here looking very healthy. So I did a quick rough count. I think there's probably about 120 of this good size already, and hopefully you can see it, but we've got more coming up as well. So I think as we head towards the spring, we're going to see even more germinating, and this tray will get even fuller, which is awesome. And this tray's just been under the shelf here where I placed it, which you saw earlier in the video. As soon as these Harakeke got a little bit taller, I took the Perspex off so they could continue to sort of grow up. Obviously there's
there's only sort of 10 mil of clearance on the top of that tray there. Alright guys, this is our end goal, right? Healthy tray of Harakeke. So that's where we need to get to from our current stage of this tiny little ones. Obviously time, we need to let these grow. So yeah, as I said, we're in June now, winter. I think these guys will be ready to go to the next stage of pricking out, probably in the spring around Labour weekend will be a good time. Let them get a bit taller. And so from here to here, well, check out this link now. I'm just going to throw up, which is how to prick out. So to get out the individual harakekis from this to go to our next stage. So this tray here, I've got one here. It's a 28T cell tray. So you can see individual cells, as they call it, which is going to house our individual flaxes. Now this tray here I'm going to recycle. I've just planted out some harakekis as it was, so I'm going to use it again. So it's still pretty good nick. So for the purposes of our exercise now, we're going to call that a zero cost. You can pick up these cell trays for free from your local garden centre. In my case it's the King's Plant Barn. You go in there, they have a big bin, and people drop off their spare used trays. So if you've got used pots or trays, you can take them in and drop them off, and then people can come in and just take them and reuse them for free. So awesome initiative. So if you go in there, look for the cell trays, but you absolutely do not have to use a cell tray. You can use other items, you can use what you got, and I've got a few examples here. Individual pots, various sizes. You can prick out one flax into these, or even a little seedling punnet. These are very common. I see a lot of these in those recycled bin at the garden centre. So this would 100% work. So just prick them out into whatever you've got. If you're going to do heaps, like probably what we're going to end up with a couple of hundred here, then you are going to want a cell tray just for space. It makes everything easy. Obviously we've got 28 flaxes in one place. Right team, so you've done your pricking out in the spring, you're letting your harakeke grow, and by the following winter, all going well, you'll be ready to go. So these guys ready to plant out now. It is winter, perfect time for planting. And cost wise, what have we spent? $7.50. We've got our free seed, we've got our recycled pots or trays for free, so we've just spent a bit of money on potentially a seed tray and some potting mix. So $7.50 into lots of flaxes, obviously super cheap, super rewarding as well when you grow your own. So I hope some of you are feeling inspired now to get out there and grow your own harakeke. I certainly enjoy it. I find it super rewarding as well. I think you would as well. So if you do, as always, good luck, happy growing.